Alright YouTubers, I wanted to make a video talking about an overlooked area when people have their heads surfaced or milled. A lot of people don't realize when you have your deck surface milled or cut, whether it be, 5 thousandths, 8 thousandths, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, whatever you have cut off of this deck is going to leave a really sharp edge on the corners of your combustion chambers. Now, something that people see, that right there is literally razor sharp all the way around every chamber after you have a head surfaced. What most people don't realize is there will be portions of this chamber that are kind of like, we'll call them overhangs, where you've surfaced this plane and created a knife edge around the chamber. And I think some of you who are more familiar with building engines knows where I'm headed. You're going to cause a thin, sharp edge that can actually get hot and glow, kind of like a glow plug, or at least cause a hot spot around the sides of your combustion chamber that can cause pre-detonation. See, like right here, right above the spark plug, there's an overhang. I don't know if you guys can see, but my fingernail is going under this aluminum casting. So that whole area right there is just a sharp, thin knife blade that will glow and get hot, during the combustion process of a running engine. So anytime you have a set of heads milled or surfaced, make sure, if the machine shop doesn't knock this down for you, to carefully go around this edge. Sometimes you can do it with like the edge of a knife and just scrape it down, but you want to make sure and go around every chamber and take that sharp edge off to help hold back detonation, especially if you're building a turbo or a nitrous application, any kind of high horsepower application where you're going to have really high cylinder pressures. Just a small tip, guys, that's overlooked. I bet you 8 out of 10 times people have their head surfaced, slap it on the engine, and good luck to them, because that's definitely a bad idea. So I just wanted to kind of hit this today. I was out here working on this set of cylinder heads, and I got to thinking about it. I'm like, I don't think I've ever talked about that in a video. How this, super sharp edge, just generally you would want to knock it down because you definitely can cut yourself on it. But then I was like, well, we always were told earlier in my porting life to remove that to avoid detonation. I said, well, I'll throw it in a video. Maybe you guys would be interested in hearing about it. This particular set of cylinder heads, and these are not a Castech head, does not have the battery, symbol on it. This is the better preferred castings. But if you look at this real dark area, it's like carbon buildup on this side of the combustion chambers. It's rough. Like, it's rougher in texture than, I don't want to say normally, but it's rougher than I like it to be, because even after being put in a wash cabinet at the machine shop after surfacing, it still didn't take this down to what I call clean. There's a little bit better close-up. I just thought I'd zoom in real quick before I change positions on the camera. But you can see that rough texture that even washing in the wash cabinet with that high, temperature water, and I guess it's got detergent of some kind in it, couldn't get that carbon out. So what I'm going to do is just go as my normal process of deburring or removing that sharp edge around the chamber. I'm also going to knock down this roughness in these chambers. I'm not doing a full, like polishing the chambers or anything like that, because that takes a lot more time and costs a lot more money. But what I do want to do is make sure that this is clean and doesn't have that texture to it, so the customer gets a better end product. So anyway, I'll give you a little shot here in just a second what it looks like in progress. All right, there you go, guys. A little bit better picture of what I'm trying to do and what I'm talking about. What I do is I take old valves from old, that I've just collected. I use these as, and you've heard me say this before, sacrificial valves to protect the valve seats while I have my burrs and sanding rolls and whatever I end up using to try to knock down this texture in these chambers and slightly unshroud the valves in the process. So I just wanted you guys to see that I'm, going around every chamber, removing that sharp edge, and then removing that, what I call unneeded rough texture in the portions of that chamber that I wouldn't let go of that carbon, because that's kind of ridiculous, and I don't want to send a set of heads that look like that. So basically, as you see, I'm just going through and doing the little detailed work on this set of LS cylinder heads. And you're looking at let's see, these are Cathedral Port, 220 cc intake runner, 83 cc exhaust. Should be a good set of heads, run real strong on that 6 liter. And after I'm going to CC it after final assembly with the valves that are going to be used. I'm thinking after milling the heads, these are going to be somewhere between 60 and 61 cc chambers, because this application, he's running natural gas as the fuel source. So he was really interested in bumping both his static and dynamic engine compression up to better take advantage of that natural gas. So anyway, I thought I'd just make a video because, been a long time since I've been out here able to work. In the meantime, I've become a grandpa, otherwise known as Pop Pop. That just happened last Friday. I haven't been able to run my air compressor because apparently my air compressor is super sensitive to cold. And I almost burned up my electric motor to turn the pump on it this winter, trying to sneak out here and do some porting work. So now that the weather's up into the low 50s, it's time to get out here and get some work done and clean out the garage and get these parts out so people can go racing. So as you know, I'm not the fastest person in the world, but I do try to do quality work, and I got my math and my experience to carry me through. I just got to keep my perseverance moving and get some of this stuff done. All right, here's a little update of the progress. 2 chambers on the right. I'm probably about 75% done. Kind of going over it, and then I'll hit it, one final pass with like a sanding roll, just to make sure I get all the burrs or sharp pieces or whatever knocked down. I just think that makes a much better surface for the combustion chamber and the process for your flame front. It's all about your quench and controlling your flame front. I'm just going to real quick knock this down and make it flow and look a little bit better. I guess I'll go ahead and try to wrap this video up and try to get it loaded for you guys. But I wanted to kind of talk about, smoothing and deburring the combustion chambers on these heads to try to get rid of that, rougher texture I didn't want. I'm not, as I stated earlier, I'm not trying to polish these chambers, just making them a little bit better, making it function a little bit more efficiently, and hopefully won't be too much of a headache. But something I've noticed on these heads that I don't like, and it kind of orientates itself to the wash cabinet at the machine shop. Okay guys, I kind of flipped around to this other head because I wanted to show you something in particular. Of course, this is the other head where I was cleaning that texture off of those chambers, just trying to get them smoothed out. But here's what I don't like. Seems like that wash cabinet at the machine shop isn't working as good as it used to, because I don't like the coloring on the outside of this head. I don't know if you guys can pick it up in the video, but it's got that weird, I don't know, for lack of a better term, like dirty. It's got that kind of brown tint to it. And it seems like the wash cabinet at the machine shop used to, you know, clean them better than this. I don't know. I don't really like that. But really all he has is one of those industrial, you know, vertical wash cabinets in his shop. I'm not sure which machine shop would be close to me that would offer. Oh, some of them have where they bake them. Some, you know what I mean? Like there's a lot of different ways they clean engine parts. But to get them looking, I would like to get them looking brand new, which might require soda blasting the external surfaces. Geez, you can't use the old, you can't really use caustic, or you're not supposed to use caustic on aluminum. I'm just curious what the processes are some of these other shops are using to restore the factory original color and texture, or whatever you want to call it. I just think they look a little bit more professional when they're not, you know, retaining that original dirt build-up look. Because, I mean, nothing really comes off a great deal. I mean, they are dirty, but it's just weird to me that that machine doesn't clean it better than that. Or maybe he needs to change a filter in it or add more detergent. I'm not really that familiar with those wash cabinets, but I was thinking about running it, just cleaning them up a little bit more myself, trying to anyway, before I do a final assembly on them. I'm going to go ahead and wrap up this video. Really all I want to do to these heads now is just kind of finish that head behind me with the sanding roll work, because it got too late. It got 2 o'clock in the morning and I was making a bunch of noise, so I was like, oh, I better quit doing that. And finish sanding rolling on that. I got to go through and lap the valves. I mean, the valves look like they're seating really well, so I don't foresee any problems or concerns with, you know, running through it one more time, because I always make sure that it has a good sealing ring on the laps job. That way there's no disappointments and the heads run like they're supposed to when they're in service. So anyway, that's this video for you. Just wanted to talk about that deburring or smoothing of the combustion chambers and getting rid of potential detonation issues. Thanks again for watching. Please like, subscribe, share, hit up all the little bells and little trinkets they make you do now so you can get updated.